All right, guys, welcome back. Oh my God, I just spit on the microphone. I told you I'm going to be weird talking today. We have the first guy on A Girl's Gonna Talk. This is my friend Charlie. Charlie, say hi.
Hello.
Charlie has been my friend since freshman year of college. We go way back. We're besties. And I thought it would be great to have him on the pod for the first time, for a first guy, because, you know, we just vibe off of each other. We riff. I feel like we've known each other for a really long time. So it would be just great to talk. He's a DJ, so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about sports a little bit because, you know, well, yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's right up my alley.
Yeah, it is right up his alley. And it's also up my alley, which a lot of people don't guess about me. But I love sports. I'm a huge Patriots girly, huge diehard football fan. So yeah, we're going to do that today. So I do have a little bit of a busted lip. Don't know if you guys can tell. I look a little weird talking today. That's a whole story. I'll get into that right now. I didn't really tell Charlie the story in depth. I kind of just explained it to him. But yeah, it's going to be pretty hard for me to talk today, which sucks. It's been hard for me to eat. And that's the thing that sucks about this the most, because I did a full grocery shop last Thursday and I have fridge full of groceries. I had all these meals I was going to cook and I can barely eat right now. But basically I got roofied on Saturday when I went out. Yeah, right. It's bad here.
Sick world.
Yeah, it is a sick world, but it's bad in Boston in particular, and it has been for a while. And basically, I went out. I had a normal amount to drink for myself, and this is gonna sound terrible. I'm gonna sound like an alcoholic. I promise I'm not. But I can usually put down a bottle of wine and then slam tequila shots after and be fine. You see me in that state.
Sounds like a lot of alcohol to me.
Okay, it is a lot of alcohol, but I can
everyone's tolerance is different. Yeah,
everybody's tolerance is different. I can handle my shit. I would do that. I don't do that as much anymore because it's really bad for your stomach. And I'm I like flour more than alcohol. It just makes me calmer. Yeah. But yeah, so I've done that before and I've been completely fine. Only woken up with a headache. So I went out this night, had a couple shots before I went out, had a seltzer and a mixed drink. And then all of a sudden, that's when, shit, hit the fan. And I was like, what is going on? I didn't remember anything. The only thing I remembered was there was something wrong with my Uber. I guess I figured it out because I called Uber, but my Uber driver was trying to make me pay before I got out of the car. And I was so, I remember feeling nauseous and being I need to get out of this car right now. And my payment wasn't working and he was yelling at me. And then when I got out of the car, I tripped and I fell face first onto the concrete, busted my lip. Don't remember anything else from that night. I had called one of my friends 7 times. I called almost everybody in my phone. It was a mess. And then I woke up the next day and I have never felt worse in my entire life. I literally thought I was dying. It was one of those, it wasn't even a hangover, but it was one of those things where you're just I literally was laying on my bathroom floor because I could not move. And so it was just scary, but I'm fine now. That's all that matters. I did lose my purse. That's a fat L. Thank God I have a passport because I wouldn't be able to go out or do anything. Oh, yeah. But yeah, and luckily I keep my credit cards at home if I'm not supposed to spend on them. So my credit cards were at home and I just had my debit cards on me. So yeah, but it was a night. And I definitely have never felt like that in my entire life before. And I wasn't even thinking at first when I got up in the morning that I was roofied until one of my friends asked me and I was like, wait, you're so right, because I don't remember anything that happened.
I think obviously the important thing is you're safe now.
I'm safe.
I mean, the busted lip. Could be a lot worse.
It's just a little natural lip filler for the moment.
It just sucks, It
just sucks.
I think, moments like that make you realize just how shitty people can be, which really sucks because I think one of the great things about nightlife, especially for us being in it so often, yeah, it can be rough at times. There's not a lot of great people sometimes, but also the whole point of it is like going out
and having fun.
Having fun with friends and meeting new people and like just so many people in one collective space having a good time together.
Yeah.
And then when stuff like that happens, it just kind of sucks because it makes you realize that there are genuinely terrible people out there in the world who, you know, just have the wrong stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it just sucks. But, you know, no one should ever have to go through that.
No, but, you know, like at the end of the day, like we've been saying, and like I've been saying to everybody, like, I'm safe, I'm alive. Yeah. I made it home somehow. Like, whatever freaking angels, spirit guides, whoever was watching over me that night was like, this chick is making it home. Thank fucking God, because... Yeah, but anyways, I was going to actually tie it into nightlife too, because I feel like that's like, unfortunately, one of the very downsides of nightlife is that happens so much in our industry. But, okay, anyways, so that was a little sappy story, but I wanted to explain my busted lip because it's going to look fucking weird on this camera. But, okay. Are we ready to do song and quote of the week? Charlie's like,
I'm so ready.
Charlie had his picked out. He's ready. I didn't even have mine picked out until I got here.
I had it weeks before.
Okay. All right. You do it. You go.
Quotes first, song first, whatever?
Let's do quotes first.
Quote first. All right.
Okay.
My quote of the week is actually something I keep in my cell phone case with me on all times. It is a fortune cookie, but it was one that stuck with me, and it says, win as if you were used to it, lose as if you enjoyed it for a change.
Ooh.
Which...
Okay, I like
It's like
that.
a classic, like, fortune cookie, you know, kind of quote. But I don't know. I think the minute I saw it, it just made me think that... It just related to me so much personally, because I think there's, like, so many people that like to, like, gloat and boast about their wins in life and, like... show how awesome their life is, especially in nightlife. I think that's why it stuck out to me, maybe, because there's a lot of people like that who like to flex like what they're doing in life.
Yeah.
But for me, I think one of the important things that I try and strive for and keep consistent in my life is just like always working hard, doing the best I can, like staying true to who I am and just being like a genuinely nice person. I try to be most of the time. And I think that's just like, it goes into that. Like when you get a win, you've been there before. Like I get wins a lot. So just like keep your head down, keep working hard. Don't let it get to you. And then when you do have a setback or a loss, kind of enjoy it. Try and twist it and say like, hey, this is like a down moment for me. Maybe I messed up or, you know, something bad happened in my life that's, you know, bothering me, but there's going to be good moments to follow. So I think I just try and take it like that every day where, you know, you're going to have your losses, but enjoy it for a change because, you know, a lot of wins are coming afterwards. Yeah, and I think that is such a, like, that relates so much to manifesting for me because usually right before, like, something you've been manifesting and you've wanted to happen comes into your life, a lot of bad shit happens because it needs to clear out everything that doesn't align with you so that the thing that you want to align with can align with you properly. And I think that's a fucking dope quote. Like that was a good one. Yeah, I keep it in my phone case every day now just so I can always look at it, and when something bad happens I'm like, all right, remember.
Right.
Like,
remember.
It's not the end of the world. Try and flip it into something good.
No.
And you know, something good's gonna come eventually.
Ah, wow. You were just so proud. I love this. I just chose mine like 2 seconds before we came in here. Okay, mine is the most powerful person is someone who decides their self-worth is not a group decision. Which that one hits a lot. I think like when you're like I feel like often when you're in college too, like you feel like the need to compare to others a lot and the need to, I feel like with just social media too nowadays, but like the way that you are isn't like based on like what other people think. It's your self-worth is who you are, and it's not valued because this person thinks this of you or this person thinks this of you. And that's the hardest thing that I've had to learn with like self-love is like just because somebody loves me, that doesn't mean like that means that they love me, but how do I love myself and how do I value myself? So I really like this quote. This one's a good one.
That's very powerful. And I think I always relate stuff like you said back to like college and nightlife But I think something like that, there's like so much competition in what we do in a sense, and there's so much, like you said, like social media posting, you know, trying to showcase that your life's awesome and that you're the best kind of, or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter like how people view you. Your worth is, you know, how you feel about yourself when you go to bed and wake up. So I think that's super important to keep in mind for everybody.
I like that too. Okay, let's get into songs. Did you choose an EDM song? I
actually didn't. My
you
song
didn't? Okay.
Well, no, my original song was going to be actually one of our good friends, the Break Bomb Project.
Oh, Brandon.
One of my close friends, Brandon.
I need to have him on.
I do have two, so I kind of cheated. My original song was one of his new singles, Underneath, from his recent EP, Neuro Bridge.
Yes,
I've
so
honestly been listening to it nonstop, not just because of my relationship to Brandon, but I genuinely love it.
No, he's really fucking talented. Please go listen to it, guys.
It reminds me of summer. I think it's awesome. The beat on it is awesome. The drop is cool. And then Kendrick Lamar dropped his Drake diss track today, Euphoria. So that is also my second song of the week, because that song was hard and I really enjoyed it. Two different songs, but very different reasons, but I like both of them equally.
Now I feel like I have to also choose an EDM song just to add in there, because we are going to talk about DJing today. So, but my first one I've been listening to is West Coast by Lana Del Rey. I've been saying I'm in my Lana Del Rey era lately, and everybody's like, Devin, that is not great. But no, Lana's great.
No, that's cool. Lana Del Rey is awesome.
Lana is the fucking queen. She knows what she's dark feminine energy. That is Lana Del Rey. So that's my first one. I've just been listening to her on repeat, but that's one of my favorites. And then I guess I'll do another EDM song. Oh my gosh, there's a couple that I've been listening to recently, but I guess I've been listening to this one since it came out a while ago. It's Devotion by Cashmere and 22 Bullets. That one is great. That's a fucking great song.
I've not heard that one. I'll have to go check it out.
And it's in like a lot of like I also work for a DJ, so I like have to clean check mixes, and it's been in a lot of mixes recently.
It's funny. I actually just like, for being a DJ, I do not listen to like any EDM usually, which I find very weird. I do enjoy the genre a ton and love playing it even more. But I don't know. For me, I'm never just like, oh, let me just throw on an EDM song while I'm chilling or walking around. It's usually more like hip hop, pop. I do love Lana Del Rey too. So I mess with a lot of her stuff. But I've always wanted, like, since starting to DJ, like, I gotta start listening to it a bit more. So like that's a funny story, because I was never into EDM either, but like my mom was into EDM, like growing up. Like she like would always play mixes in the car and like just like have things going, like all of the like old classic EDM songs by like Tiesto and like Armin van Buuren and all of those classic iconic DJs I know because of her. Like she literally played pool with Avicii. Like she's just like she was like the EDM queen, and she still loves it. Like I literally have thrown her on the guest list for Armin van Buuren. That's like one of her favorite artists. But I was never into it because I was so like, I liked the Chainsmokers like in the 2016, whatever Tumblr era, but never was like super into it. I was always into alternative and indie and blah blah blah, and I was like EDM. And then as soon as I started working in nightlife, I was like, EDM, like I love EDM, like, and I do, and it's grown on me a lot. And there's a lot of good artists, and a lot of the classic artists that I would listen to, I've started listening to them more and like more in depth, like the ones that my mom loved. But I just have like seen so many artists, worked with so many artists, and getting to watch all of their shows. Like I just worked with Knock 2 on Saturday, and he was not Saturday, sorry, Friday, and he was insane. His show unfucking real. That was a fun night.
Yeah, that was such. You were there. He is just so talented, and that was like one of the best shows I've seen in a couple months. So
that was probably one of the best shows I've ever seen just from like the crowd energy.
crowd
I think
energy was
everyone who was there just
insane.
kept being like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
I've never seen the floor shake like this."
No, and
you're just
I've
standing there, and you can legit feel all the vibrations from everybody jumping for each drop. It was so cool.
Exactly, and I've never seen that crowd stay like that long for the show. Like the crowd like was full until the end, but no, like I have just grown to love EDM. A lot of the DJs I've worked with have been so great. And like it's just so cool to get to meet all of those people. Like I've worked with Armin van Buuren a couple times now, and like you know my mom is just like, oh my god, like that's just so cool because like I grew up like listening to him and I never really even knew that, you know. But yeah, it's just so cool how it like wraps in, and I do love it now. So you should start listening to
Yeah,
that.
I gotta
make
listen
you
to more.
playlists because I'm good at making playlists, guys. Go check out my playlists. But no, I'll make you some playlists because they're good. Like it, and I feel like it will give you variety.
Yeah,
too.
I try and take it like artist by artist, but like I also feel like I just don't listen to as much music in general because I'm always looking for like edits or remixes to DJ with.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the first ones I really got into after DJing was Fred again, and I liken him to Knock too because guys like that, Steve Aoki, all the big DJs too, of course, like Tiesto, like you said, like no matter what their set is, the crowd's staying the whole time. Not even just because of the music, but because of like what they bring to a performance, which I think is so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still have a lot more to listen to, but you know, obviously I've seen a bunch of DJs and have enjoyed their sets.
Yeah.
Just got to get around to listening to their original music.
Yeah, so I'll make you playlists because I know a lot of the originals.
I appreciate
But okay, so like I want to like know because I feel like I never have asked you this, which like sorry, I feel bad.
No worries.
What got you into DJing? Like why did you get into DJing? What inspired you? Did you always want to DJ? Did you always want to produce? Like what was that circle? Because for me, like when I met you, I felt like you were always into like sports and like marketing and like all of that stuff. So like to see you become a DJ, like a great DJ, by the way, guys, he's taught me. He's great.
Average, but
no, you're great. But like, what inspired you to like do this? I want to know. Like, what's the story behind it?
I didn't always. It was pretty recent, not like within the last few years. I never really thought of DJing as something I could do. I just always loved music. In like middle school and high school, I got really into hip hop and producing, and you know, didn't come out with anything, but I always wanted to experiment with it. But at the time, I had the money to buy stuff if I wanted to, but my parents were, you know, always of the mindset of like saving money and like, you know, did I need to go spend money on like an Ableton or like a keyboard or anything fancy to use? So I never really like had any way of making it at the time. And then I met Brandon, obviously Breakbomb Project, close friend of mine, and I remember at the time I wanted to be a hip hop artist. So the first time after camp that I ever hung out with him was me going to his house, him producing some like hip hop beats and me trying to rap over them, which, as you can imagine, went horribly wrong. It was terrible. I could picture
you rapping.
No, it was.
I used to want to rap.
I think I deleted them all off of my phone because it was the worst music.
I was going to ask if I could hear it.
No, it was the worst music I've ever heard or created. Once my career as a hip hop artist was dead, I think I still like was interested in, you know, producing music. That's what I wanted to do. And Brandon was obviously starting to create the Breakbomb Project and going down the EDM route. And I just kind of like attached myself to it, and I just got really invested into what he was making. And eventually, you know, he was just so talented, and I was like, oh, well, we can't really work together. Our levels of talent are so different. But then over time, I just kind of stuck with it and wanted to keep doing it. And I don't know when it was probably, 2021 probably. I kind of was like, I saw him doing all these shows, and I felt like it was something I could learn, and it made sense for me just based off how much I loved music but didn't have the skills really to produce yet. So I just kind of mentioned it to him that I wanted to do it. We started doing some shows together. I started practicing a ton on my own. And then, you know, thankfully, Buddy Costa, Big Night, gave me an opportunity when they probably shouldn't have, which I always will appreciate.
No
Well, at the time, I probably didn't deserve it. But I think it's DJing's just like any other hobby or job. Practice makes perfect. So
it does, yeah.
Over time, I just kept working on it, and I'm here today.
It's DonDaft.
Working my way up or trying to. Mm-hmm. And then also, lately I've, had slightly more money to buy Ableton and start buying different instruments and MIDI stuff and really starting to try and produce my own music, which, hopefully goes well.
Yeah. Also, I just realized everybody's going to hear the outside music from the Bruins game because there's a Bruins game going on right now.
Big game.
Go Bruins. Yeah. That's fucking awesome. I never knew that about you. I want to hear those hip hop songs. I'm so sad you're deleting them.
If Brandon still has them, I'm telling him to delete them.
I will literally make Brandon show me them. Yeah. I will be blackmail.
I probably still have lyrics written down because that's what I would do. When I worked at Goodwill in high school, I was so bored there, and you couldn't listen to music, but I would just have a instrumental in my head that I had heard from something, and then throughout the day I would just be on my phone kind of going through my notes and just writing different stuff. So then I was let me try being a hip hop artist. That'll be cool. And then you hear your voice on a record and it makes you want to die.
Yeah,
and I could not do it.
It's okay. I rapped Can't Hold Us by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis for one of my school talent shows.
That's a banger, though.
It is a banger. Yeah. It's a fucking good song. But yeah, I rapped it for my talent show, and that was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. And then I also I was so into rap too growing up, but I was into Iggy Azalea. My mom let me see Iggy when I was 10 years old. I know.
Huge show.
What?
Huge show.
Yeah,
at the time she was popping.
Fire. That was right when Fancy came out. I knew all of her songs. I shouldn't have known these from such a young age, but I did, and she kind of shaped me. I still love her. I think she's a great rapper. But no, I wanted to rap too at one point because of her.
Yeah.
And I was oh my God, that would be so fucking cool. Thank God I didn't. I don't even listen to rap.
Yeah,
really
I'm so
anymore,
thankful that I never because when I was young, I tried singing for a time, and I remember training to sing Sam Smith with a friend of mine at a talent show when I was in 6th grade, and thank God the talent show got canceled. We practiced in this kid's basement, once a week for, a month or two.
Yeah.
And then eventually they were just oh, we're canceling the talent show. And
great.
At the time I was upset, but thank God now, because if there was a video of me singing out there, it would be terrible.
I also did Flo Rida. I rapped, oh my God, I think it's oh my gosh, now I'm gonna forget the song. But I rapped to him, and then I also did Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars, and I wore a little blazer and a fedora with blue Converse. So that was great. Yeah, I'll show some pictures on my Instagram.
Yeah, we gotta see those. That's quite the outfit.
It's iconic. It's quite iconic. But no, I think that's the cool thing about music too, is it shifts so much from when you're so young to now.
That's what I love about it. I just think about all the different experiences I had with it, playing an instrument and then, doing chorus or trying to learn how to sing.
You did chorus too? I did chorus. That was traumatizing.
Having your, era of liking hip hop, which I still do, but, getting into that, wanting to produce hip hop, and then it just, all led to now where I am today.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what is getting more into EDM nightlife stuff, because I know I have some fucking stories. What is the craziest thing that you've ever seen happen as a DJ, while you were DJing at a show? I've seen some whack shit, but never I also just working, because I worked at the restaurant right next to Big Night before I started working there, and working at that restaurant during one of the I think it was a gimme disco or something. this girl was like, I'm exposing this poor girl right now and I feel so bad. This girl was hammered and she came out and she was like, where's the bathroom? And I was like, it's that way. And then she turned around and then she turned back and then she just like peed right on the ground in front of the host stand. And I was fucking traumatized. I was sitting there like, like, this is a restaurant. That's just like one of the crazy things I've seen. I mean, it happens all the time in the club though.
Yeah.
Like, too. Like, people will like pee themselves in the club, and it's like, what the fuck? But like, what's the craziest thing you?
I don't know if I've had like anything too specific. You know, you see, you know, fights break out sometimes. Unfortunately, you see people yelling at each other. I've had like. I do, I do like a lot of like dinner shifts and stuff, DJing early hours before things get super hectic. I always find it hilarious when people like start popping off during those, because I've had, I'll be playing like Lauryn Hill at like 8-9 p.m. at night, and then you just have two guys start like screaming at each other like very vulgar stuff, and I'm like, whoa. Like, you're like, all right, we're not even playing anything crazy. Like, it's too early for this. I'm playing some light music to get the vibes going, and we're just starting fighting now. But I think like probably the weirdest thing I had happen was actually my first show with Big Night with Brandon, New Year's Eve. We were going on after Griffin together. Okay.
And
I think just someone like drank too much, unfortunately, and ended up like fainting or passing out. And I remember we were like 20 minutes away from going on. I was so nervous because I was like, this is my first time ever being up there, like sold out crowd New Year's Eve. I shouldn't be here. This is going to be insane. And then they had to pull the fire alarm because of it, emptied out everyone from the entire venue. And then I was like, oh my God, my big break is over.
Your claim to fame.
Yeah, but then thankfully we got to go on afterwards. But it was just hilarious experiencing that.
Yeah, I remember them telling me about that story, and like Griffin still went on too, and it was so.
Yeah, it was an awesome night, but I was like, oh my God, like everyone just emptied during the headliner's performance. Like, is he going back on after? Because I think he was supposed to play until like 12:31 or something, and we were supposed to like close it out, something like that. And then I was like, oh man, like obviously it's Griffin, like he should go on the whole night, like that would be awesome, everyone would love that. But in the moment I was like, oh man, like is he gonna go back on, really? Like, are we not gonna get a chance to play? But we did, and it was a very fun night, and a crazy first experience doing like a real DJ set. Like I'd done smaller private events before, but for that to be my first show ever was
crazy,
insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually a fight broke out. I went to see you on New Year's Eve, and a fight broke out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
on New Year's
Eve.
But
when I'm DJing like at 8 to 11 during that time, which I guess fights can happen anytime, but you usually see that more like later in the night when people have drank more, when like the music's a little more aggressive, something like that. But happens while I'm playing like house music, maybe some Beyonce.
Yeah, and it's like, guys,
it's insane.
This is not.
Gotta chill out.
Yeah, this is crazy. No, I think it's nightlife is such an interesting culture. I mean, we were just talking about that too. Like like I don't know, because like I feel like festivals. I haven't been to like an EDM festival yet, which like I wanted to go to Ultra because I worked Miami Music Week. I was down in Miami for that, and Ultra is just so expensive, and they don't sell day passes. It's like the whole weekend. So like I didn't end up like going. But I feel like that type of culture, like festival EDM culture, is different than like just nightlife and like clubs.
Oh yeah, the festival stuff is crazy. That is not. I've only been to 2, Boston Calling and Gov Ball, not EDM, but. You see some different shit there, which is insane.
I went to Lollapalooza last year, and I wanted to go again this year. I just think I'm going to do a different trip instead. But no, I know that the EDM like rave culture, like that festivals is so different. So I really do want to go next year to like.
I hate my body's just like too old for festivals.
Too old. You're 21.
But that's what I mean. I don't get it. Like 22, and I can't.
You're 22.
Like, I can't. Yeah,
sorry,
I can't make it. It's like I just can't make it through. That's what happened at Gov Ball. 3 straight days. And by the end of it, I was just, my back hurts, my legs hurt. And then after that, I was just like, I can't do a festival again.
Yeah, sometimes that's why I'm like, how do these artists, how do these DJs like feel like, especially like I don't know, like Tiesto and Armin are like, they're older. Like they've been in the game for obviously years now, but I'm like, they just must be so fucking used to it by now. Like, it's insane. But no, like Lollapalooza, I will say by the fourth day, my body was like, I was sunburnt, my legs hurt, and then I had to get up for my flight like the next morning. Yeah. But pushed through, and I did it. I could have sworn I thought you were 21. Maybe it's just because I'm a baby that I think everybody else is.
It's close.
It's close.
But yeah, it sucks because I love going to like, pits in shows, hip hop shows. But like last Travis Scott show, I was in pain for a week afterwards.
Did you go to this last tour?
Yeah, here. And it's just like too much pushing, too much shoving, and my arms were sore, my back hurt, my legs hurt, and I was like, I don't even know if I can do floor at shows anymore. I might just have to, sit during them. It sucks.
If I'm not at the barricade, I'm in the back because I'm not in the middle. Like I hate being.
That's what I've realized. Yeah, I think I just gotta take a back seat, go to the back, still enjoy the show from a farther view. Yeah, don't need to be in the middle of it all.
Yeah. Also, I realized I've been like slouching this entire show, so I'm just gonna like sit up now. But no, unfortunately, that's. I don't know. I've always been like that, though. If I'm not in the front, I'm in the back because I don't like getting pushed and shoved. Yeah. But speaking of getting pushed and shoved, let's talk about sports for a little bit because I know you're a big sports guy. I was going to say,
where were you taking that?
What? The
pushed and shoved? Yeah, that was a good transition. I like that.
Like in football. See, I don't know. My mind just comes up with the little weirdest things sometimes. I can't get over my lower hurts so bad. Okay. So, sports. Let's talk about it because not a lot of people think, but I'm a very big sports girl. I'm a very big Patriots fan. My neighbor, Ellen, I love her. Shout out Ellen. She conditioned me since like 8th grade to love football. Yeah. I went to my first Patriots game in 8th grade. And ever since I loved that, I've been probably over 25 Patriots games, including playoffs. Yeah.
I think I've been to like one.
Really?
Or two.
Yeah.
One preseason game and one regular season game.
I was so blessed, and Ellen taught me so much, and she would always go to the games. I went to Brady's very last game. I literally called out of work for that. That's getting exposed now. I was like, oh my God, my like car's like my tires flat or something like that. No, I went to the fucking game. My neighbor was like, Ellen was like, I swear this is going to be Brady's last game. Like, we have to go. And I was like, you're so right. So we went, and it was his last game, and I'm so glad I went. But we lost. That was the first ever Patriots game I went to that we lost, which fucking sucked.
That was a tough one.
But yeah, a tough one. In the speed round, I was going to ask what your favorite football team is, but I'll ask now. So, are you a Patriots fan? I
am. Okay. Yeah, I'm a loose fan. Admittedly.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to be much more into it. I think it's like just like other hobbies of mine. I find different sports that I like right now. Soccer, real football is kind of my ride or die. Manchester United. Like I watch all those games. No matter what day it is, just because I love it. But I do still like football. Obviously, working at Card Vault, I need to follow all sports to some degree. Yeah. So I like the Patriots, but I just don't I don't know if I watched a single game last year.
Yeah, I'm gonna say once. I feel like the like NFL has changed so much since a lot of the like big players that we normally would watch have like retired or like switched teams. Like it's just, I was always a fan of the team of when it was like Amendola, Sweet Feet, and like it was Edelman and Gronk and Brady and Garoppolo and Brissett. Like the Wolfpack, like the three of them as quarterbacks was like insane. I'm a huge Garoppolo girl. I love Garoppolo.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, he's so
Everyone
hot.
Is.
I will marry you, Jimmy Garoppolo, if you want a wife.
He's a good looking guy.
There was a post on my Facebook of my mom like from years ago, and I had my little Garoppolo shirt on, and she was like, Devin's wearing her future husband's shirt. I was like, yeah, correct. So that's still on the table.
Yeah, once Brady left, I think I just realized that I was more of a Tom Brady fan than a Patriots fan, really. So I was rooting for him when he went to the Bucs, and I kind of followed them more. Yeah. And then once he retired, I was like, shit. I like the Patriots, but it's just like, it's not the same team. I really only was following it for Brady because I, wanted to see him do well. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited now. I like Drake May. I think that was a really good draft pick.
I do too.
So I'm excited for this season.
Yeah, I might see if I can go to like a preseason game or something because like I haven't been to a game in so long. But I want to get back into it. I think like we did do good in the draft, and I think we are hopefully going to start to win games now, and
hopefully more than last year, I would hope.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. As a football fan, I was very much embarrassed. My little laptop turned off with my questions. Great. But yeah, no, I do love football. I haven't gotten into hockey much. I do know it a little bit, and I think. What?
No, I've never been into hockey either.
It's like you're shaking your head because I'm not into hockey. But no, I think living in Boston, I still haven't like. This is the thing. Like I've been here in school for like 4 years, and I'm like, I need to go to a Bruins game. I need to go to a Red Sox game. I need to go to a Celtics game. Yeah. I've been to 2 Red Sox games.
2 Red Sox? Wow.
That's it. I haven't been to Bruins or Celtics. I'm like, I need to go because like
Celtics is fun. Going to a hockey game though is really fun. I went a couple months ago, and I don't watch hockey at all. Like I know the Bruins team somewhat, but watching it in person is very fun.
Yeah, that's what I have. Everybody always says like the energy levels are insane for hockey games.
But I'd personally prefer to watch like basketball, baseball, soccer. Those are kind of my things.
Yeah, so I used to play soccer when I was like in high school. Not high school. Yeah, I just played soccer growing up, and then I tried to play in high school, but they didn't have like a girls team at the high school where I went, so I like coached the boys team, and I would like sometimes play with the guys. Yeah. It was interesting. I went to a technical high school. That's why.
Okay.
That's why. It was very not normal school. I was supposed to be a hairdresser.
Yeah. I played in high school until I got cut.
Yeah.
Wasn't good enough.
He said,
Yeah.
But
I was really bad at soccer, but I loved it playing it, and I wish I could have played more or applied myself more to it.
Yeah. I also like, when I do sit down, like sometimes I'll watch it in the summer or like whenever it's happening. And when I do sit down and watch it, I'm like, ooh, wait, yeah, I missed this. Yeah. Like, I'm into it, but I need to start watching it again. But no, I feel like that's the thing, too. What I like about both sports and music is the crowds are like you can just tell the passion from people in the crowds. Because I, believe it or not, when I went into school, I went in as a sports comm minor.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you know that about me?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I went in as a sports comm minor, and I changed it to photography, actually, and then I changed it to philosophy. So it was like very like all over the place, but I loved sports that much that I was like, I want to like do this. But I think I just loved the feeling of like being at a Patriots game and that like togetherness and that fire. Because when you were at a Patriots game, when it was that team, the energy was like insane. Like it was just like, it was like being at a concert for me.
Yeah, that's why I fell in love with soccer, because the European crowds are just so different. Yeah. And like I was lucky enough this March to go to Old Trafford and see Manchester United for the first time in England. I'd seen them in the States before, but it's like nothing I've ever experienced. Like the chants, the energy of the crowd for like the entire 90 minutes is just
insane.
Which like it gets hype at a Pats game and a Celtics game, and I love that, but like being over there, the crowds are just so different, and it really just reminds me of like a nightclub. Like everyone's buzzing the whole time. It's such a fun atmosphere. Yeah, that's kind of why I've liked it, because I'm someone who loves like passion and stuff. Yeah. So to see that passion in the sport is really awesome. Yeah, and that's why I also am tying it back to music now. Look at me go. European like nightlife is insane. I've heard like insane. I want to go to Ibiza so bad. I want to go to Germany. I want to just go all over and experience. I went to Sweden, but in Sweden, when I was in Sweden,
a lot of the nightclubs are either 21 plus or 23 plus, which is really weird. But yeah, right? It was odd. And
Isn't the drinking age 18?
Yeah.
Too?
Yeah. So it's really weird. So I was, what was I going to say? I was 20 when I went, so I couldn't go into a lot of the places. But the clubs that I did go to were fun. But I would say that, like, I've heard that, I mean, obviously Ibiza is the spot to be. Like, Spain is just, like, you know, like, insane for, like, house music and, like, techno and all. Well, Germany is mostly techno. But I do want to go to, like, those spots. I always love waving to Hill and Sorry, I always notice out the corner of my eye, and I'm so ADHD.
Some fans out there. Let's go.
Know. HGGT, baby. But yeah, I really want to experience that, because a lot of DJs that, like, I've heard talk about nightlife too like it better in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
Than, like, here.
I would imagine it'd just be
insane.
Different level of passion. Yeah. And I think more, like, I don't know. I've never been, obviously, but you just, like, see videos and stuff. I think it's more of, like, an experience there where everyone's kind of just, like, appreciating the music all at once.
Yeah.
Whereas here you do get that for certain shows, but then also a lot of shows it's, you know, more of a status thing, like posting what drinks you're buying, the bottles, like how many people are there. Whereas there it's like a group of people just like all loving the music at once, like just sharing that moment together.
I feel like in the US it's very like, I have money and I have a table and I'm spending this money at this artist and blah blah blah. Whereas in like you said, as in Europe, it's more like, let's go for the music. Like, we love the artist. Like, we don't care about where we are, what table we have. Like, it's not about that to them. Like, it's about the music and it's about the passion. I mean, there's a lot of Dutchies in the, like, that are huge DJs too. A lot of them are Dutch and, like, Swedish and, like, I mean, Swedish House Mafia, Avicii, like, he's the god of, like, EDM, basically, I would say, in my opinion. And he was from Sweden. I went to the Avicii Museum when I was there. I, like, cried. Like, that was intense. Like, R.I.P. Avicii, like, he was literally the best, like, and learning about his life was so insane. Like, but no, I feel like I really want to just, like, go to Europe and, like, experience all of the different side of EDM, because even when I was working Miami for Miami Music Week, Miami nightlife is so different than Boston nightlife. And I haven't even been to New York for New York nightlife, but I'm sure it's so much different than Boston. And, like, every city differs, but I think that the passion is just so different in these other countries, even when it comes to, like, soccer and stuff like that. Okay, let's do a little speed round. It doesn't have to be that quick.
I was gonna say, I don't know how fast I can get these out.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's why we have like a couple minutes left. Okay, so obviously we know your favorite football team, Patriots. But Patriots, ride or dies. Patriots, New England people, born and raised. That's how it should be.
Yes.
Okay. Favorite EDM artist of all time?
EDM artist all time. I have to say Fred again, just because he's the person I've listened to the most music. But like you said, I love people like Avicii, Tiesto, Diplo. Their music has been very influential to many, and they also just make bangers. Yeah. So
I would say mine, this is going to be very, like, out of the blue, it's David Guetta.
Oh, that's
I love David Guetta.
Can't go wrong with David Guetta.
But also Avicii. Avicii and David Guetta, I feel like, are tied, because, like, I listened to a lot of them growing up. Also Tiesto. My mom was a really big Tiesto, like, fan, so I listened to a lot of him. But yeah, no, those are my top three, like, are tied, I would say, for favorite EDM artists. I'm trying to think of, like, any that I like, but, like, currently, like, current artists, those are, like, the greats, but oh my god, Odessa, I love Odessa.
Odessa, really good. One of the best shows I've seen.
Yes, one of the best. I want to see Rufus the Soul so bad too.
Also an insane show.
Those type them, and, like, I do like Fred again. Like, I feel like all those shows would be just so life changing. I missed Fred again at Lollapalooza because I was waiting at Barricade for the 1975. My brother saw him because he was waiting at Barricade for Kendrick, And
your brother's a smart man.
yeah. I know. I knew you were gonna say that.
That would have been my plan right there.
Yeah.
Fred again, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, and they were on the same stage.
Can't really have a better back-to-back shows.
I had to see Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars before that. He jumped like right in front of me and like right up on the like barricade, and he like literally jumped off this. It was insane. Okay. This is gonna be like, this is kind of similar to EDM artists, but who is your favorite like producer? Like, it doesn't have to be like EDM. I don't even know who my favorite producer is.
My
currently.
answer is controversial.
Okay.
But it's Kanye West.
Okay.
Currently, probably not. But all time, definitely. That's like,
Okay.
That's the guy who got me into music. Like that was my biggest inspiration. Currently, like in hip hop, I love Metro Boomin. Just listen to a ton of his music. There's too many to name, but any project he does with an artist, I love usually.
Yeah.
EDM, I'd have to say Fred again.
Yeah.
Like, again.
Yeah.
That's good. But just because like the way he's able to play his shows live and like the way he does it on stage, I just think is so unreal.
Yeah.
But there's so many people. I've been listening to a lot of Bunt lately, a lot of Stutter House, Tech House.
Yes.
Guys like that I've been really enjoying lately.
Yeah. Okay. Mine is Avicii. I'm gonna say it again, but he worked with Coldplay and Chris Martin and produced A Sky Full of Stars with them, and that is one of my all-time favorite songs.
That's a banger.
It's a banger, and I just remember like the interviews and Chris talking about him being like he's the nicest person like ever, and like the collab that they did, it was just like so easily. And I honestly like Mark Ronson is such like an underrated producer.
Yeah.
Like, I love him. I think he's great. I think he's hot too. I think he's underrated. He knew I was gonna bring that around. I have a TikTok, and I was gonna be like, I like literally said on the TikTok, I was like, why is nobody talking about the fact that Mark Ronson is hot? Like, can we talk about this, please? I'm gonna get canceled for that. Just but anyways, okay. Best show you've ever been to. I want to ask everybody this. I want to start doing this.
Best show.
Best EDM show. Best hip hop.
Yeah.
Show. Also, my favorite EDM.
Best hip hop. Best show I've been to. Tyler the Creator, for his "Call Me If You Get Lost" tour.
Okay.
Which I saw at Nottingham. That was Igor. Somewhere in Massachusetts, I saw. But that's just really special because I went with my brother. That's kind of like one of the only artists the two of us like agree to go see together. So both of those shows are my favorite just because of like how special that was to be with him for that. Best EDM show. Oh, that's tough. That's really tough. I think the most memorable one to me was I saw Steve Aoki at Grand, and it was the first time I'd ever been to the second time. It was my first weekend ever going out, right after COVID. Jack Harlow and then Steve Aoki back-to-back nights. Jesus. Jack Harlow was very cool, but that I think it was just like a different experience because it was the first like EDM show out of COVID in Boston. Everybody was out, like finally getting to party again. Yeah. And that was just like one of the most wild nights of my life. Yeah. So that was good, but like Knock 2 was one of the best like technical shows I've ever seen. Yeah. But there's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Should I do like one I've worked, like an artist I've worked with, and then an artist that I've seen?
I like that.
Okay. Favorite EDM artist that I've seen? Oh gosh. Okay. This is like crazy because I've seen so many people by now. Like my list is so long. I would say the favorite EDM artist that I've seen, I will say it has to be Odessa at Lollapalooza. Like that was insane. I would love to see one of their own shows. The drumline and like the lights and just having like Izzy Bizu come out and sing. It was just like the story behind it was like amazing. Yeah. Like I really loved
that. The drumline is crazy.
The drumline is insane. Like the fact that they thought of that, I'm like like mind blown. And then the favorite artist best show I've worked with and like best show I've worked. Let's see. Oh my God, I'm trying to rack my brain because I've worked with.
You've worked a lot.
I've worked with like.
I mean, it's multiple times every week for like a couple of years. That's a lot of shows.
Yeah. I'm like, Snock 2 was great, but I'm not going to say him because I just talked about him, obviously. I will say, like, working, like, a lot of the shows that I've worked this year have been great. Yeah. Armin van Buren was, like, that show, like, because I watched a lot of it from the crowd because my mom was there. That was great. But I came back to my memory. I have worked with Purple Disco Machine twice.
Oh, I know. You were so excited about that.
I love him.
Yeah.
And the second time, because here's the thing, guys, I kind of want to DJ. And Charlie's been teaching me. He gave me one of his old decks, and I'm going to have more time, obviously, when school's done to continue it. But I was so inspired after Purple Disco Machine's set, and it was the crowd and the energy, and it was just like, he's just so great, and he's so nice too. So I've worked with him twice, and that was probably one of my favorite shows I've worked. But
yeah, his music's really good. Oh, I'm a fan.
So good. But Charlie, thank you for being the first guy.
Thank you so much.
I am honored. Talk.
A guy's got to talk.
A guy's got to talk. Yeah.
Everyone's got to talk.
Yeah. I still did it with a busted lip, guys. All I do is talk. I was telling that to the nurse yesterday at the hospital because I didn't know if I needed stitches. But anyways, tune in to next week's episode as well. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow if you're listening on
Instagram.
Spotify.
Come on.
Yeah, and follow on Instagram and TikTok. Let's do this. But thank you guys, and I will see you next week. You've been listening to A Girl's Gotta Talk. Bye.